Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today I just have a quick tutorial for you. It's going to be eyes, cheeks, and lips. And it is a look that was inspired by Marlena from Makeup Geek. She did an Insta stories, I think it was about a week ago or so. And it was a very soft, smoky eye with a bold lip. And it was just so pretty. And so I did this look twice last week and fell in love with it and thought I would share it with you today. It's pretty simple. So hopefully no matter what your skill level is, you can recreate this look and it doesn't take a gazillion eyeshadows to do it either. So if you're new here, be sure you hit that subscribe button. Now let's get started. So the foundation that I applied today is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Liquid Foundation because I'm going to be doing a bold lip. I've talked about this before. I like to have a fuller coverage on the face. And then I did apply the Milani eyeshadow primer and a little bit of the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot over that just to conceal the veins on my lid. If you don't have super oily lids, you could just use the MAC Paint Pot and that would suffice. So for today's look, I am going to be using Makeup Geek eyeshadows because I loved the dark brown that she used in that video. It's one of my favorites and I happen to have it. So these are Makeup Geek shadows, and if you're not familiar with them, you can check out her website, but she has just an array of colors and finishes and you can build your own palette. She has pre-done palettes in like 4s, so you've got little quads, or you can do 9-pan or huge pans. So whatever your cup of tea, if you just want to buy one eyeshadow, you can do that as well. And they're very inexpensive but high quality. So there's my little plug. I have loved Makeup Geek shadows for years. All right, I'm going to start off with this one, which is Vanilla Bean on a Sigma E50. And I'm just putting a little bit of this under the arch of the brow. And then I am going to put this also on the lid. This is going to be an all matte eye with just a little hint of shimmer in the inner corner. And I am adding just a little extra on the inner corner here, just to make sure it's all nice and bright. All right, now Marlena in her little video, she did not use anything through the crease, but I'm gonna do just a little bit because I need a little contouring with my hooded eyes. So I'm going to do a combination of Beach Please and Cheetah Bear. If I need to, I might add a little bit of Cupcake, or I'm just going to mix these two just to get kind of the perfect contour shade for my skin tone. If you're cooler skin tone than me, you could just go in with Beach Please. But I'm just wanting to add just a tiny little bit. See that tiny little bit of a shadow? It already just makes that eyelid look more lifted there. And this is the Morphe M504. I love this for a very diffused crease, so you can go real lightly, and I am going very, very lightly. Her shadows are very pigmented, but they blend out well, and I would say they're a little bit softer than a MAC shadow, but they are not powdery, so you don't get tons of fallout. Okay, now we're gonna go to the liner, and I have just tried this for the first time last week, the IT Cosmetics Superhero No Tug Gel Liner, and it is super black, and it is super black. These are super creamy. So far, so good. All right, so I am going to start, I always start in the midpoint of my upper lash line. And then I'm not going to wing out my shadow today, but I am going to lift it just slightly into a wedge shape. But I am pretty much going to stop right about where my lashes end. Normally I like to go a little bit beyond, but I'm going to kind of stop about right there. And then I am going to just do little dashes and go all the way into the inner corner, but I'm really trying to stay super close to the lash line. And I mean, as you can see, I'm not doing a perfect line or anything here. We're just laying down the product because we're going to smudge it out in just a moment and thus make it look soft and smoky. To smudge that liner and to add a little shadow, I'm going to use the BK Beauty 204 brush and Americano. This is the most perfect dark brown. It has a little bit of plum in it, but it's not too cool. It's not too warm. It has great amount of depth. Oh, I just love this shade. Okay, so I am going right on top of that liner. And then as I go up, I'm just kind of flicking that shadow up so that it is softening the line. It's filling any gaps in that I missed. So I was applying my liner. And then I'm going to go up above the line and continue to just softly blend a little shadow up. So we're diffusing that liner, but we're keeping that darkness right at the lash line, which is gonna make our lashes still look really nice and full. But then we're softening that line. And then I'm gonna take one extra brush. This is just the BK Beauty 203, and it is shorter than the 206, but it's still a little bit fluffy. And I'm going to use a little bit of that shadow and then a mix of those two. So I just kind of do that. And I'm just going to lightly brush that right in the corner where I put those crease shades. And then with what's left on the brush, I am just really softly blending that out so that there's really not a noticeable line where that Americano shade starts and stops. And I'll add a little more Americano on that brush and just blend until I am satisfied and it looks nice and soft. Now, one tip as you're going in towards the inner corner is you are going to want to open your lid just slightly so that you don't draw on your lower lash line. I can't even tell you how many times I have done that myself. So just a little tip to save you some cleanup later. On the lower lash line, I'm going to use one of my favorite pencils for a smoky look or just a look where I want a little bit of drama, a hint of smokiness, and that is the Mushroom pencil from Urban Decay. And I am going to put a little bit of this on in the roots of my lashes, so on my waterline, but not all the way across. This doesn't stay all the way across your waterline, but if you smudge it into the roots of the lashes, I feel like it still kind of gives that definition that we want along the lower lash line here. And then I'm going to go a little bit below the lash line. And then I'll take the Morphe M432, a flat brush, and just softly blend that into the lashes. I don't have any shadow on my brush. I'm just going to use the liner down here today. And that helps just really soften that line. And I don't know, there's something about this color of pencil that I love. It's not as harsh as a straight out black or even a dark brown. Okay, now I'm just cleaning up under the eyes with a little bit of almond oil. And this is really important anytime, but especially if you're doing a smoky eye. And then you're also going to want to make sure you conceal any dark circles. Okay, now I'm just curling my lashes, and then we're going to go ahead and apply some mascara. And I always feel like I want a little extra curl when I have a smoky look, so I really spent a few extra seconds with the lash curler there. All right, for my lash combination, on my upper lashes, I'm using one of my favorite combos. It's the Origins Underwear for Lashes with the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. On the lower lashes, I have just fallen instantly in love with this new mascara from Caliray. It's a tubing mascara, but it's supposed to hold up under basically anything. Basically be waterproof, and let me testify, it is. Let's go ahead and start with some mascara primer first. Color mascara on the lower lashes. Right now I'm going to go back with just a little bit of Vanilla Bean. And I'm going to just kind of tap this right in the inner corner and then just put a little bit there on the inner part of the lid. And I'll give you an option if you want to add a shimmery inner corner highlight, but I'm going to show you in case you don't like any shimmer at all, you can use a matte shadow to brighten up that inner corner. Now we desperately need some contouring and cheek color. So I'm going to start first with contour, then we'll add lips, and then we'll go back to our blush. So I'm just using what I've been using a lot recently, the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Film Star Bronze and Glow. And just using the F05 from Sigma, putting a little bit of that in the kind of hollows of the cheek, or at least where I wish there were hollows. And then I'm going to brush a little bit under the jaw here. And then I always take a little bit up along the hairline. I have kind of a medium-sized forehead. If you have a shorter forehead, you could skip this step. And if you have a larger forehead, you can bring the contour down just a little bit, but you can see just what a difference from this side to this one. Now I'll add just a little bit to the sides of the nose. All right, let's go to the lips. I just tapped off the gloss that I was wearing, and now I'm going to use the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot around the edge. I'm going to give that a second to dry down, and while I do, I'm going to tell you about my lip combination. I did this last week and loved it. So this is new to me, the Revlon Color Stay Longwear Lip Liner, and it's in the shade Mauve. So it's kind of it's pretty neutral. There's a hint of some pink tones in there, but pretty neutral and light. I'm gonna pair it, you're gonna think this is a little crazy, with this beautiful red shade from MAC. It's called Fresh Moroccan, and this has some gold pearl in it, and it is beautiful. Because it is more of a brownish red, I feel like you can wear it in a little more muted way. And so that's what I am going to do by starting with this Revlon liner. You can see I took that liner in just a little bit. Now we're going to add the lipstick. And again, you could go in with a super light application like that and just work it in, kind of blend it in, and it will come off with a very kind of brownish red, muted red tone. Or you can build it up just a little more, which is what I'm going to do. Isn't that just so pretty? Oh, I love it. Now you might be wondering, why did I cover up the lip liner, or why did I use that other color? And I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the lip line, it doesn't look really that much different than the rest of the lip, but it has a hint of depth, of neutral depth. So as this lip wears down, the outer edge is going to maintain more of a neutral tone rather than getting brighter and brighter. The inner part of the lip will probably get a little bit brighter, but that's just a little tip to maintain a little less brightness as the lip color wears away. All right, now it is obvious we need a little bit of color on our cheeks, but not too much. So I'm going to try one of the new shades of the Patrick Ta blushes. I just got this the other day and it's so pretty, but I'm dying to see how it looks compared to She's So LA. So this one is She's Blushing, which is what we need on our cheeks right now. So I'm going to start off with my E4 and Morphe, and I'm going to start in with the powder. If you're not familiar with these blushes, he recommends that you start with the powder and top it with the cream. I know, breaks all the rules, right? You can see, whoa, very pigmented. This one looks like it has a little bit more of a glow, kind of just a hint of kind of a satin finish, more so than a couple of the other ones I own from him, but it's pretty. Okay, let's see. Now we're gonna go in with the cream portion, and I'm using the Luxe tapered highlighter brush. Just gonna tap in that. You can use your fingers. I just always like to use a brush, and you can see it's not real dense, so it kind of allows you to better control how much, whoa, because we don't want too much with our bright red lip. And I'm gonna bring a little bit of that color up. This is one of the tricks that Elise, I don't know if you watch her channel, if not, check out her channel. Did a video collaboration with her. She was recently talking about this trick to help lift your face. And it does, I love it. It's called blush draping. We're gonna drape a little blush around there. Okay, and then I'm gonna tone down this cheek just a little bit, have my damp beauty sponge with my foundation. Just gonna tap over that a little, and then go in with my powder puff. Just kind of tap that down, that's better. For finishing touch, we need a little bit of highlighter. So I'm going to my Broken Glow from Charlotte Tilbury, the other part of that palette, and just gonna dust a little bit of this on the tops of the cheeks. And then this is where, if you want to leave the eyes completely matte, you don't need to do this in the inner corner. I'm gonna go ahead and just tap in just a hint of that glow, just to bring a little more light there. All right, so I put on this olive green moto jacket, some bold jewelry, fixed my hair, and now I feel like the look is complete. So here is how the makeup turned out, and I love it. And hopefully you saw as we went along, it was a much less intimidating way of doing a smoky eye. Many times when you pull out a black eyeshadow and you start blending that, it gets scary very quickly. But I just love the simplicity of this technique, and I feel like you can make this look work for multiple occasions, whether it be a fancy night out on the town or just a fun day of shopping, whatever's going on. I really feel like this is a very versatile look, and you can easily switch out the lip color. And maybe if you did a pink lip, you could do a little more of a pink tone blush, but otherwise, I think it's very versatile. So I hope that if you've been intimidated before by smoky eyes, you will give this look a try. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.